Hi, a very warm welcome to one and all watching this video. In this video, I'm going to talk about one of the important crises that is faced in India, the agrarian crisis. In India, agriculture was the main source of national income and occupation at the time of independence. Agriculture and allied activities contribute nearly 50% to India's national income. Around 72% of the total working population was engaged in agriculture. These confirm that Indian economy was a backward and agriculture-based economy at the time of independence. But from 55% in 1950s, the share of agriculture and the allied activities in GDP at factor cost declined to 14.6% in 2009. Poor returns to cultivation and the absence of non-farm opportunities are indicative of the larger socio-economic malaise in rural India. This is accentuated by the multiple risks that the farmers face: yield, price, input, technology, and credit, among others. The increasing incidence of farmers' suicides is symptomatic of a larger crisis which is much more widespread. The features of the current agrarian crisis are briefly elaborated. First, there has been a decline in the trend growth rate of production as well as the productivity for almost all crops from the mid 19th. Second, there is an excessive dependence of a large sector of the population on agriculture. Third, with declining size class of holding and an increasing preponderance of marginal holdings along with poor returns from cultivation indicate that income for farm households is very low. Neoliberal reforms and the agrarian economy. The acceleration of neoliberal reforms of the deregulation, privatization, globalization from 1991, first by the minority Congress government of 1991 and then by all the subsequent governments at the center and in most states, has led to enormous agrarian distress and a deepening of the agrarian crisis. At a time when the Indian economy is growing at about 8 to 9% per annum and edging towards the double-digit figure, the rural or the agrarian scenario is not doing well. At 1999, share of agriculture in the gross domestic product is 20% in 2004 to 2005, down from 41% in 1972. Whereas during the same period, the share of employment in agriculture using usual principle and subsidiary status declined at a much slower pace from 74% to 57%. Ratio of worker productivity in agriculture to the worker productivity in non-agriculture is about one-fifth. The agrarian bar rural crisis is lagging behind, but it continues to employ a larger proportion of the workforce. Farmers' suicides. Poor agriculture income and the absence of non-farm avenues of income is indicative of a larger malaise in the rural economy of India. One manifestation of this has been the increasing incidence of farmers' suicides. The suicide mortality rate for the male farmers in India increased from 12.3 in 1996 to 19.2 in 2004 and then reduced to 18.2 in 2005. Other critical issues in agrarian crisis. In addition to the weather-related uncertainties, the farmer is also faced with market, spurious inputs, technology, and credit-related vulnerabilities, among others. Production or yield loss is an important risk. Weather, pests, and the disease of plants, spurious qualities of inputs could be a possible reason. The risk is real because even today, crop loss can adversely affect the consumption requirements of many farmers' households. Price shocks are also a matter of concern. The conventional argument was that such incidents happen during a good year and the increase in the production should compensate the farmer. An implicit assumption in this is that prices are based on local supply and demand. Integration with the local market has led to greater price volatility. Poor farming returns. On an average, returns to cultivation per farmer household is Rs 11,259 in 2003 to 2003. To account for the droughts in the said year, even if one increased the return by one-third, then also it would be less than Rs 15,000, which, given a family size of 5.5, turns out to be very less than 8 rupees per capita per day. This means that the other source of income would become necessary if the farmer household has to stay above the poverty line. The income of all the average farmer households from cultivation would hardly suffice to meet some basic day-to-day requirements. Only medium and the large farmers have income higher than their consumption expenditure. The policy implications from the above discussion calls for an emphasis of a larger crisis. that of lower returns and declining profitability from agriculture, and that of poor non-farm opportunities. The solution of this problem is not in a few packages, but in drastic changes in the present economic policies related to agriculture. All farmers, agricultural laborers, societies, government, and people's organizations should work collectively to revive agriculture and save India from agrarian crisis. In the present scenario, successful regimes have tried to revive the sector by pumping into money through minimum support prices (MSP) and loan waivers. But the net result is that agriculture sector's contribution to the country's GDP continues to decline, and a large mass of farmers face an uncertain future. A challenge for the agrotech experts is to provide innovative products that reduces cost while increasing returns. The vacuum of organizing farmers needs to be addressed through a federation of self-help groups or alternative structures. Let us hope that these solutions will help in reviving India from the agrarian crisis. Thank you.